Oh, Vikash has also come. Super. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. He's just logging on. Hi, Vikash ji.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? Sir, क्या
Yeah,
अरे
hi,
बहुत
Alok.
अभी दिखाई दे रहे हो यार. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
So nice to see you and such an honor.
Thank you, sir. Same here. I read somewhere in the email it is on on a 27th.
We are live now.
Acha.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you want to start the introduction or?
Namaskar, good evening to everybody. On behalf of the Art of Living, I'd like to welcome you to this evening's discussion with young entrepreneurs. I'd like to invite Alok Kejriwal ji to be the moderator for this evening. A brief introduction for Alok ji. He's a digital entrepreneur. He sold his last company to Disney. He currently runs Games to Win, a casual mobile games company with 350 million downloads. Has a love relationship with VCs and entrepreneurs, art of living teacher and passionate meditator, spiritual seeker, blogs vigorously, mentors startups, now a best-selling author too, popularly known as Robin Hood. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Jai Gurudev. So first and foremost, I think there's only one defect in the introduction that he said young entrepreneurs, and वो young word को जरा strike off कर दो क्योंकि definitely not young. But I am. It is my amazing honor, and I'm so touched that my two best friends and two best entrepreneurs I've ever met in my life are with us. And both Vikash and Nitin. First and foremost, thank you so much for taking out Saturday evening, 7:30 p.m. Sparing such precious time for us and our youth and our Art of Living program. So thank you so much. Like entrepreneurs, right? We don't waste time in getting to the business. So let me first start with Vikash ji. Now I want to share a story. This is so amazing. 2 years ago, I was invited by, I don't know, God's grace, Guru's grace, actually, to Apple for their WWDC. And something very strange happened there. I was, because if you're a guest, you sit in the second or third row. And Tim Cook was right in front of me, the CEO. And as he climbed on the stage, I was following him. And as he went up, one logo was behind his head. And that logo was Ludo King of Vikash ji. That day, I felt, मतलब जिसको बोलते हैं ना रोंगटे खड़े हो गए. Vikash ji, you remember I sent you a picture also of the Apple
Yes,
event.
yes,
So that is the honor of having you here, the greatest, the king of games, Ludo King, and beyond that. Nitin was asking me, Alok, give me a quick introduction. So I said, yeah, Nitin, clearly you don't know games because no one in India will ask you who is Vikash of Ludo King. So thank you, and I'll ask you guys to introduce you in a minute or so. Another story with Nitin, and that's another amazing story. We were on a panel together. I met him, and one thing led to the other. यार हमारे जैसे टीचर्स और जो ऑर्गेनाइजर्स होते हैं ना, हमारा काम होता है सबको खींचकर आर्ट ऑफ लिव में लाना. दैट्स आवर कर्मा. So I made a tukka to Nitin. मैं कहा Nitin यार please come for a panel of ours. And I was so touched and so like my heart melted when he said, Alok, when I was young in Bangalore, I had this allergy and like a asthma kind of allergy, and I did the Sudarshan Kriya, and it helped me so much. So it will be fantastic. And that is how he came and we met. So without wasting time, Vikashji, first just quick, in your own words, I know you both are very humble, but just tell us the size and the magnitude of what you have achieved and what do you do?
So thank you, Alok. Thank you for a wonderful introduction. So uh, I all I'm Vikas Jaiswal and founder and CEO of Games Technology. I have almost 18 years of experience in gaming industry. started in 2004. I worked in a India Games Mumbai company as
Right.
a game developer, and then from 2010 I started my own small venture game shell, and our super hit game Ludo King is the most successful these days. We released Ludo King in 2016. So this is my small introduction.
And I understand from all the charts and data that we get, Ludo King, for the knowledge of the audience, is one of the largest downloaded games in the world, definitely in India. And I think Vikashji, over 500 million downloads now.
Yeah, approximately. Last month it was something 475. I think he already
Right. So,
was.
मतलब America and Europe से बड़े आप बन गए हो now. The population of Europe and America has become big. So nice. Okay, now Nitin, you're a man of many crafts, and I don't know how to box you in one introduction, but if you don't mind, and don't be humble because people in this panel need to know what you have achieved. So I know so Nitin, am I right in saying you're the largest internet, sorry, the largest stock market uh, intermediary in India now, Zero the?
Yeah, we are. So,
Please go on and tell us the turnover you do every day because that number everyone has to hear.
no, I mean, okay. So yeah. So I run a business called Zerodha. We're a retail brokerage firm. So if you want to invest in the stock markets in India, you need a broker, and we are one such brokers. So our competitors are people like ICICI, HDFC, and all of that.
Right.
We've been lucky that we grew quite fast over the last 3-4 years, and we today are the largest in India. So we are 20-25% of Indian retail broking volumes.
Wow.
And so we have 3.5-4 million customers today, and we get a lot of credit to have grown the business without raising any money. And Alok,
Yes.
anyways, has this habit of overselling everyone.
But Nitin, tell us now, what is your average turnover of the business every day?
No, I mean, see, that number, I mean, it's in, see, the thing is, we do between 6 to 7 million trades a day.
Wow.
So each trade is usually in tens of thousands or lakhs or crores, so it's a really big number.
Understood. So we're talking about at least 6,000, 7,000, 10,000 crores a day.
Yeah, probably more, but as I said, this number in our business is just it's like a GMV number, so.
But boss, you got something that you've created that makes this money pass through you, right? So that's amazing, right? So let's start basically. See, the whole idea of this panel is being unstoppable, right? I mean, how do you, both you guys, and that's why I was very, very fortunate to be able to, invite you, and you were able to, you came on. Both of you all completely defined that word for me, unstoppable. I've never seen you guys hesitate or stop. So maybe Vikash ji, what was that? आपको क्या insight थी that just gave you that idea? Because a lot of entrepreneurs, वो idea बहुत बड़ी चीज हो जाती है, and you've been a person in the trade for many years. So insight क्या थी that made this huge success happen?
So Alok, I will reply to your answer, but I think we should start from you first. What is your yeah, you are a great inspiration for me.
Very properly.
I
Sir,
really like every LinkedIn post. I read your Robinhood website, so I'm really a big fan of you.
so sweet. Vikash ji, I'll be honest. I used to make socks in my father's factory. मैं तो मोजा बनाता था. ये तो, I'll share this a little later. It's Guru Grace in my life that gave me the opportunity to become an internet entrepreneur. I became one. But to lead you on to my question, the company that I run, I have two girls. So जब मैंने company चालू करी थी 2007 में, so they were 8 and 10. And you won't believe it. What happened in front of me was they used to play with dolls, doll house. Acha, मैं boy हूँ, as you can see, and I used to play with dinky cars, and I used to read stories. So you won't believe it. यार देखो भाई, ना तो टेक्निकल है, ना एमबीए है, ना नितिन की तरह एकदम फाइनेंशियल विजर्ड है, ना आपकी तरह गेमिंग टेक्नोलॉजी विजर्ड है. हम तो मारवाड़ी है, बनिया है, हमको तो पैसा बनाना आता है. So what happened was I used what we call simple insight. I said, see, dolls, cars, and stories, they seem to be going on forever. Now, no one in the world has ever stopped playing with them. Now, instead of board and physical, let's take them to mobile. So that is the story of how I started mobile games to win. But now my mouth is shut. Vikash ji, अब आप हमें please बताइए, because you have created a revolution in Ludo, and please tell us how this idea came about. What inspired you?
So Alok, before coming to Mumbai in 2004, from childhood always मैं हमेशा ये सोचता था I have to come to Mumbai only. I don't know why, but the only I mean voice is echoing ना.
थोड़ा वॉइस एको हो रहा है, पता नहीं आपके यहाँ दो डिवाइस तो नहीं चल रहे ना बाय एनी चांस? अगर 2 डिवाइस होंगे तो एको होगा. बट ओके, डोंट वरी नेताजी. आप क्या?
Anyway,
हाँ.
so it's a very simple. My always goal or target was very simple. Simple means only one target was in my mind. I have to become rich. Very simply, I want to. That is this is the only thing. ये Ludo King नहीं होता, maybe some other games कुछ और होते हैं. But yeah, so this was the whole thing. I always wanted to be a rich, and I think this is
अभी सुपर रिच हो गए सर. अभी हम लोग बता रहे थे, अभी नितिन की बात होने वाली है. सो आई वाज आल्सो मेकिंग अ साइड प्लॉट कि आपके जो बिलियंस जो आपने कमाए वो नितिन की कंपनी में कैसे खिसकाए जाए, वो थोड़ा हम लोग प्लान कर रहे थे, which we will tell you later. So Nitin, what a run, what a story. I must share. I'm a user. I'm a consumer of both your products. And Nitin, I use Coin and I use Kite every day. The beauty of the product is its usability and its UI UX. But I'm a long-term investor, but your apps actually make me feel like investing more and more every day. So Nitin, what was it that I mean, we've heard the story from you, but share with the audience, what is that key insight that drove you to become so successful? I think
see, the success aspect of it is right place, right time, and all of that, right? As in, I don't know if you can really chase an end result. I think what led to starting Zerodha was I used to trade the markets for like 12, 13 years before Zerodha happened. And when we started Zerodha, essentially I was trying to solve a problem that I faced as a trader or investor. And I think that whole, so like a lot of people say we are a 10-year-old business, but we're actually a 23-year-old business, because the day I started trading the markets is when Zerodha in essence actually started, right? And so when we started the business in 2010, it was I think the edge that we brought on the table is core competency, which is understanding your user well. And then as a business, you need a team to execute. Like you, Alok, I have no tech background. I'm a South Indian Brahmin, but I actually even had the whole maybe a negative of saying that I was probably the first businessman in our family. In the sense that it's not a family where anyone has done business. So I think it's just a passion of saying you need to build a good product for people like you, which got this started. And then I think in life, what I've realized is when you're stupidly passionate about something, you end up, your odds increases of finding people like you, because two passionate people tend to come together easily and stick together easily. So I got extremely lucky that, we've been able to build that core team, which is stuck around. I think today, after 10 years, I think one of the main reasons for the success of the business is actually the core team, the 50 to 100 people who first joined the business, who are still in the business. And they bring today on the table like lots of core competencies. And yeah, so that's what got this started. All this money, success, all of that, I mean, yeah, I mean, there was always a money goal, but I don't think this was ever started with the idea of making money. This almost started like, like there are people who like rock songs, so they go set up a pub and play rock music, right? It was almost like that, so when we started it, it was, very active traders in the market. We wanted to build something for them to use along with, us to use it as well. And then it kind of took different directions.
I want to, sorry, that is superb, Nitin, really very enlightening. I heard this story, but the variation I heard today was very interesting. Now I want to come to a topic that is very close to my heart. And I remember I said, being from being somebody, so I'll just give you an example. Vikashji and Nitin, when I grew up in a very different environment, and I've shared this in my first book. Every night when I used to come to my dinner table, my nana brought me up. So my nani, we would sit on the dinner table, and even before, like I was in school, right? So normally what do you do with your school children? Hare, how was your day? How was the studies? She would tell me, market market में आग लग गई, market में पानी लग गया, dollar बर्बाद हो गया. These were the kind of discussions on my dinner table, and I grew up understanding what was going on. So for me, as you said, making money was very important, but I also understood one thing. This is very different from me versus both of you. मारवाड़ी में एक कहावत है, जब लक्ष्मी आती है तो you should not send her away, which means when money comes, you should never send her away. So I was very fortunate to raise VC money, because when we started in 98, 99, there was no ability to do something without money. But you guys have succeeded beyond belief. I mean, we're not talking about some 10, $20 million outcomes. We're talking about billion. You guys are unicorns. How on earth did you build such a huge business without any VC funding? And more importantly, to tell the audience, there's a lot of pressure amongst entrepreneurs. Funding nahi mili to my business will not do well. Funding nahi mili to I can't start. So there's a disconnect. Like funding doesn't mean success or failure. So please enlighten us on it. And maybe Nitin, you can go first.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't know why in this country we celebrate raising funds as much as we do. I think I think we should celebrate successes. As in, I think at the end of the day, the business has to make money, right? And that has to be celebrated, right? As in, because if the business can't money, then it's not really doing its primary objective, which is as a business to make money. So why we didn't raise money? See, when we started the business in 2010, it was really a horrible time to be starting a brokerage business, right? As in, after 2008 financial crisis, all the brokers were actually trying to go away from retail broking, and we were trying to start a business then, right? So not raising money in the first few years was really the only way to start the business, because there was no one giving money, right? And once we started to earning money, I think it goes back to the understanding of the user, right? As in, what I realized was that in the business of money, right, especially in this whole investing and trading and all of that, even for example, even a bank, right? As in, usually those relationships are enabled by friends and family, right? As in, to give you an example, if I started trading and investing, it was my friend who introduced me to it. Nice. I know people don't randomly pick up a newspaper or see an advertisement saying come trade the stock markets, and I mean no one starts trading like that, right? So we realized that marketing and advertisement in this industry doesn't really make too much sense. One, just because people don't look at an ad and decide to trade or invest. Second, also was that, see, there are in India, there are between, I think, 80 lakhs to 1 crore Indians who have the intent to invest or trade. That means they've traded once a year last year, right? Now, if you have to spend your advertising dollars, right, you're just going after this 1 crore Indians and trying to spend. And but you have to compete with Amazon or Flipkart and all of these guys whose target audience is maybe 15, 20 crore Indians, right? As in, so you have to spend the same amount of money to go after 1/5 of or 1/20th of their size, right? So it made no sense to go out and advertise. And once you don't really have to market or advertise, there was if you as a business are decently doing okay, I mean generating decent amount of revenue, your only real cost is your infrastructure and your people cost, right? And so we were extremely frugal in the way we started. We were a small office. We never chased growth, in the sense it's all been organic. So we didn't first put the infra and then expected business to come. We grew the infra along as the business grew, right? As in, because one of the things I think a lot of people is overestimate what their businesses can do, and then end up putting a lot of upfront money, and then if things don't work, you then need forcing yourself to go raise capital.
Yep.
And then because we were building business like this, we realized that it doesn't really need capital. And then I got introduced to the startup ecosystem, and then I realized that not raising money is a big edge I have on my competition, because by not raising money, we were extremely nimble in the way we could take decisions, not just on the business side, on the product side, and everything else, right? And I truly believe that in today's world, it's about the fast beating the slow and not really the big beating the small. And you can, the organizational structure can be so much more faster if you don't have like 20 investors to go talk to, or get a consensus and all of that. So today, and then over the last 2-3 years, people have offered ridiculous amounts of money to get into as an investor. But I think the business has made enough money to cover our lifestyles for the rest of our lives. So and there is no ambition of becoming owning yachts and planes and stuff like that. So and we have also decided that we're gonna stick to doing what is core competency to us. I think the core team in the business loves stock markets. We're going to do whatever we do around stock markets. I have no ambitions to become a bank, or I have no ambitions to sell insurance or whatever, right? So, so when you don't have all of that, you don't really need money. And I think people need to know that businesses can be built multiple ways. Raising money is one way to do it, but without raising also can work. But I think like how Vishal was saying, I think if you're doing this without raising money, I think you need to have large amounts of core competency in whatever you're doing. And like he was working in a gaming company, so you had that core competency, and that's what is required if you don't have the money. So yeah, I mean that's what I think about all of this.
That's brilliant. Thank you. And it makes so much sense. I mean, I was amused in LinkedIn recently when someone said, "Why don't you go public?" And you said, "What will I do after I go public?" Right? So it's the same thing, after you get a cow, then what will you do with the milk? And after you get the milk, so that discussion goes on and on. Very well. Thank you. Acha, Vikas ji, sir, ab aap bataiye, boss,
See,
you've raised it without money. So you become a huge success. I mean, poster boy for success without any money. So kaise kara, sir, aapne?
see, Alok, I did my, I'm a computer engineer. And after that, I become a game programmer, game designer. So I started my small office in 2010 with a 2.5 lakh rupees in 2010, with 4 employees. And after that, in 2016, we saw first success with Ludo King, and from 2016 to till date, we are really doing good back to revenue. So see, after private limited, Genshin Private Limited, we registered our company in 2018, and after that, there are two directors in our company, like first me and wife. So my work is simply to look after games or for a new products, for investment and other things, like my other half looks into that. But I really don't understand why. Maybe this is true. I saw many starter which just started their business and look for the investors. Maybe uh, वो अपने वो सही है. But yes, for me, product is everything. And currently, we are looking for a public things. Yeah, we also looking for this. Yeah.
Perfect. So Nitin, now we have two companies coming to to the stock market, GameShin, and I hope Games to Win also very very soon. And we will both be trading. And I hope Zerodha can give us some more spotlight on the app. Just kidding. Okay. Fantastic. I mean, so happy to hear such a simple but profound view on why money and why not money. And very rarely do you go on panels where such high achievers talk about the why of not raising money versus saying ki the more I get the better it is. And then we keep talking about how much I raised, which is okay. Everyone has their own story to tell, so it's good. It's not easy to raise money, guys. Just so that it's very easy not to raise money because these guys have proven it. But to be honest, it's 10x harder to raise money. So if you can do that, take it in, no worries. फिर हम लोग बाद में आपको बताएंगे how to handle it. So yeah, हम लोग तो we can keep on chatting, but there's been a large amount of questions coming in from the panel, from the audience. I just want to throw a few questions, and then we can do some round robin. So I'll just throw it to one. Anyone can answer it so that we don't have to repeat it. So one is, what are the biggest mistakes made by a startup entrepreneur? So beyond what you talked about, the cash and just doing it for vanity or doing it for anything else, any couple of mistakes that you would like to highlight, like top mistakes that we should avoid for entrepreneurship?
See, if I had to say, I think like I said earlier, right? I think the the most important aspect of building the business is whom you are building it with, right? Which is your team, right? And I think you need to take care of your team as much as you take care of your family, right? And I've seen entrepreneurs take that lightly, because at the end of the day, you're just what you are and your team is. I mean, that's what matters, right? And
Wow.
So I think if there's anyone starting up, I think you rather overdo it and underdo it. You rather take care of them extra, give them as much love, and I mean, maybe someone will take you for granted, but that's okay. That's better than not taking care of them.
Amazing.
And then letting, because I think that's what I think. I mean, which I've seen entrepreneurs not do that well, not all of them.
Fantastic. Vikashji, I must share with you, I don't think you may not have read Nitin on LinkedIn, but there was a recent post he made about a week ago where he said that we have given liquidity to the ESOPs of our company. And he said it is one of the happiest days of my life as a CEO. And I'm telling you, Nitin, when I read that, I was so envious and I was so proud of what you have done, because like you said, right, you must have just made a decision internally with a board decision and boom, you made people rich. And even though I run a company which can do that, I have a larger restriction on what can I do, whom can I give money to, versus something that you did. And you instantly proved that that paper that we have called ESOP is very, very valuable. And it actually gives money in the bank where you can buy. You may not want a yacht and car, but if I was your employee, I would have taken the money and bought a yacht and car. So fabulous, fabulous. विकास जी क्या मिस्टेक कर रहे हैं लोग, कुछ बताओ सर.
I think Alok, you can reply to this question very well. I think this,
I agree, sir, but I think my humble contribution would be agenda clear nahi hota. Very often I have noticed that there are, when I was a teenager, someone said that I am in love because everyone is in love. So the person wanted to be in love because to be in love is fashionable. Otherwise, you cannot exist. Similarly, I feel there are two misconceptions that were floating around. One is I want to be an entrepreneur, whatever that means. I want to do a startup. And the third thing was why, what is the, they just feel it is a template. Entrepreneur, startup, raising money, coming in the news, selling the startup, starting it again. But it's not a formula of success. It's a formula of failure because nothing real gets created. So that is my opinion. But I think we can keep, there are many more questions around. Uh, this is a very interesting one. I love this, and I'm pleased. I'm going to urge you to Vikashji, this you have to answer because it's apt for you. कोई पूछ रहा है Anurag from Bombay is asking, how can I protect my business idea so that others don't steal it? Now विकास जी, लूडो किंग के 1200 बाराती हो गए, आपके पीछे
Yeah,
1200 बाराती आ गए, बट लूडो किंग तो लूडो किंग है.
yeah. See, you are absolutely right, and the question is really a good question. The first thing, uh, whenever you release a product, first, if you believe this will gonna be a hit, then first you do the trademark of the name, do the trademark of the icon or a logo or any product with the name. See, today, every day, I think, I mean, sorry, every day, every month, minimum 20 games are released with the name of Ludo King.
Right.
We have a trademark. And see, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता है बोलते हुए, but yes, हमें करना पड़ता. Many developers from India are first-time developer in India. They don't read policies. They don't know. Some are intentional. Some do intentionally with the
Correct.
name of Ludo King. But when we complain to Google and they remove. So these are the things. But another thing is, don't think about the protection. Just focus on the game or a product. See, when we released Ludo King in 2016, after that, Alok is right, more than 1,000 games are already available with the name of Ludo.
Correct.
And idea and everything was copied from our game. But again, I take it with a good spirit. I always say in the media, they inspired from our game.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because when we make game, we also do some. I mean, when we make any product, हम भी कभी ना कभी किसी चीज का इंस्पिरेशन लेके ही कुछ करते हैं.
बिल्कुल. Absolutely.
So always do a copyright thing or a trademark thing, and most important thing is focus on the product. I remember, Alok, there was a game 2048. The original developer never made money.
Oh my God. Acha, I didn't know that. Okay. Wow.
He released the game on HTML5 on the website, and other copied the game. And again, if you read the story on Google,
yeah, I mean, unbelievable.
So the important thing is also if you have any good idea,
Correct.
Just release with a proper planning.
Yeah. Correct. Right. And I want to just take the theme of of this panel is to be unstoppable, right? We're unstoppable. Come what may, nothing stops you. Now we all of us are looking very nice on YouTube and Zoom. We're very big achievers, but behind this facade, there's a lot of, stress and grime and pressure and the whole challenge of waking up every morning, pushing yourself. मैं तो बोलता हूँ यार, it's like pushing an airplane off the runway to make it fly, like धक्का मारकर. So we are unstoppable, and I'm sorry, I'm including myself in your team, but I want to ask both of you, like, what is it that makes you unstoppable? You guys are richer beyond, you're in the 0 point, you're one of the richest people in the world. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You'll have gone beyond the realm of, anything. So what makes you go on and on? What is unstoppable about you guys?
First thing, Alok,
Please, Vikashji, please.
You are also unstoppable because I'm really a fan of you,
Arey, sir.
especially your writing skill, your speaking skill. I'm really fan of this. And I remember in 2012 or 13 or 10, I play your
Wow.
game on a games to win with the monkey comes before the game start of the flash game.
Right,
I remember
right.
at that time we were also making flash games at that
Correct.
time. And what was your question exactly?
The question was sir कि आपकी जो spirit है ना, you've done everything विकास. आप बोले थे I want to come to Bombay, I want to become rich. Now Bombay क्या आप Bombay को खरीद लोगे? आप बहुत rich हो गए. So how do you continue? Why are you continuing? What is the spirit of being unstoppable?
I think there are two, three things in this. Unstoppable is unstoppable. I don't think it is the good word. I think I
Okay.
feel
Okay.
because with the word unstoppable means something I'm above the God. I just
Okay.
think like this.
Okay.
Yeah. Second thing,
So sweet.
luck is a very important factor for everyone, and I agree. Also, what is your focus towards your
Right.
working is also very important. But yes, just like a failure is contagious, success is also contagious.
क्या बात?
I really
That's the answer, sir. ये headline होने वाली है अभी. क्या बात है? Very nice.
yeah.
And Nitin, what makes you Nitin the machine? Like constantly, like
Yeah.
pounding away, man, pounding away.
No, I mean, I see the thing is like everyone else, I also had a rupee number. Right? And I have a lot of interest. I love my music. I play a bunch of instruments. I love my sports, all of that. So I thought, if I get to a certain rupee number, I'm going to quit, go set up a shack by the beach at Goa and all of that. I think that rupee, that rupee number.
Zero the snacks.
Yeah, so that rupee number was hit. I don't know how many years back. No, I think it's like I always thought business is a means to make money, but it isn't. It very clearly isn't. I think it's about you get up every day and you say, you're building a better product for the user. Every day I work hard, my user gets a better product.
Fantastic.
And it's like I don't even know why. I mean, I still work like 15-18 hours a day. I don't even know why I'm doing it. I keep telling my wife the same thing. I'm like I don't know why I'm sitting and working on Saturdays. I don't know why I mean, it maybe it gets to a point where it just interferes too much in your personal lives, but I guess that's what makes you. I mean,
Yes.
right.
Very nice. I want to actually pivot from here because Nitin, you raised a very good point, which I want to kind of work on. But I want to share a little bit of another guru story because our audience is, we're all art of living teachers, students. And once, as I explained, I invited Nitin to ashram. And I said, Nitin, please come. We're having a round table or a panel again on entrepreneurship. This was about 4 years ago. And Nitin came. And what also was very touching was I said, Nitin, please bring family. Yeah. So Nitin got his wife, Nitin got his son. Remember the banana incident, Nitin? And Nitin got his mom. Huh? So we went, as usual, very lucky. We went to Guruji. We got audience with him. And there something very, very interesting happened. So when Nitin's mom met Guruji, she said, Guruji, I have been, I've been a follower for many years. And for a long time, I wanted to play the veena for you. And I was so stunned. Guruji said, Acha, to play today evening. And we were all spellbound because in that room, we could not believe that, something that was a wish for so many years was being manifested. And then Nitin's mom prepared and played the veena the next day. So there were two themes that I wanted to talk about. One is work-life balance. Nitin, you said, I'm a sports person, I'm a singer, I'm a public, you do yeah, by the way, you make zero that happen, which is very funny. In my life, I love to write, I love to read, and I kind of like to do what I do. And Vikas, you also have passions. And so what is the importance of work life balance? Because abhi mujhe kya lagta hai ki people have completely got swayed to work, 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 and it's just burning out people. So how do we balance life, and what do you advise the young people from who are watching?
The thing is, the only reason I've been able to remain sane through all of this is because of sports. Because I think for me, when I'm playing a physical sport, I'm playing basketball, I'm playing soccer. That's the only time I really switch off, right? Because otherwise, your mind is constantly thinking. When I'm talking to you in my head, I'm thinking of, I don't know, some business opportunity, right? As in saying, so it just doesn't shut up, right? So I think everyone needs an avenue where they can find a way to shut their minds off. So for me, it's by doing some kind of physical activity, and also listening to music and all of that. But you're right. I don't know if you read *Sapiens*, and I was just
Yeah, yeah,
rereading it
of course.
recently, right? As in,
Yes.
right, and every time when the world is supposed to give an opportunity to mankind to get more time, mankind has somehow figured a way to go and use the time and work. Like this whole COVID thing, right? I was thinking about it as in, I've saved time traveling to office. I've saved time, traveling to Bombay and all these cities. I've saved time, all these innumerable number of meetings. But I still don't have time. I've actually lost all the time that I was spending on, and I somehow am working. Like you said, I don't really know the solution. And
Right.
and I think this whole social media, and I think this whole mobile is a problem. I think
Yeah.
I personally think I'm addicted to Gmail. Like it's like I just can't stop
Stop.
looking at my phone
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and for that next email. So it's a tough one. I mean, I hope I knew the solution. I mean, I know abstinence is a key. So I'm actually planning a trip next weekend for the long weekend, and I'm leaving my mobile phone back in Bangalore
Oh
and
wow.
going. So I'm saying,
Yeah.
let's see how it goes. So
I, I have a couple of suggestions for you, but I'll just wait for Vikas. Vikas ji, our work-life balance ko kaise? How do we balance our work and life?
I'm not successful into this. I'm still learning. And what I believe is uh, the only thing I heard a line, I think maybe 10 years back, काम कभी खत्म नहीं होता.
Correct.
बट मुझे उस समय समझ में नहीं आया था काम तो खत्म हो सकता है. But now I understand what it means. As I said, I'm also I'm not successful into balancing this. But yes, I must say, from last 20 or 1 month, I'm practicing a discipline things. 8 बजे के बाद काम नहीं करना. I will not work after it. And I'm trying to do this. And this is the simple way, I think.
Very nice.
There should be some discipline in life.
So if I may, I want to pitch you my business, which is also teaching the happiness online meditation program. I would love to teach you guys a beautiful technique, which is called Sudarshan Kriya. We'll do it together, and trust me, we will also. I mean, Nitin, you've already done the Kriya, but I will also
right.
love to do it again with you, and we will give you that tool, the technique, a toolkit to be able to carve out time whenever you want and just relax your mind. Really, trust me, it'll be beautiful. Yeah.
Right. Sure.
Uh, so the one small thing I wanted to share, right? I talked about two stories, and this is important. We got a couple 5 minutes more, and thank you for being so patient with me. I think, like I said, Nitin, in front of my very eyes, right? I saw a wish, your mom's wish manifesting. She just asked, and it was done. Right now, I want to talk about a very important thing. Very often I have seen entrepreneurs, business people, we don't ask for things. We don't even want, hame chahiye, but we don't seem to open up and say, can I do this? Can I have that? Even in offices, very often we have, because we have we have game programmers. There are two or three programmers working on the same problem, but they're not asking each other, bhai, mujhe bata do yaar how to do it. So culturally, for some reason, saying, like, Vikash, she was so beautiful and humble in saying, I don't know. So what is the way to kind of break this? Why don't we admit that we don't know or we want something and then we ask for it? Don't you think this is essential in building a business and a career?
No, no, absolutely. I think just being honest about your weakness to your team is probably the best thing you can do. Uh, it's as a leader, it's tough to kind of let go of ego and show your weaknesses. But I think weaknesses is what builds relationships, right? As in, like, I'm very open about the fact that I'm maybe addicted to Gmail. I mean, and I keep talking about it to my, to the folks at office, saying, dude, what should I do? But in that pretext, I also get them to acknowledge that they are probably addicted to Instagram or whatever,
Very
right? As in,
nice.
so,
Nice.
and then we talk about it, right? Because but if I were to behave as if I'm like this, like super perfect human being, people, it's very tough to get into a conversation and actually have the other person being honest with you, right?
True.
And so I think just being true to people around you is an important aspect of life. And true means sharing all your maybe not all your weaknesses, but at least uh,
Some of them. Right.
at least some of them,
Right.
and asking, absolutely, as in, it's I don't know why we've all forgotten that we can actually go and ask someone something. It's probably, the world, as in when there is more of this social media happening, I think
Yes.
people are becoming more and more antisocial, so it's just
Right.
you know so I think it's just, you need people to be interacting and talking with each other, for those bondings to happen. Everything is through a chat. You never really build a relationship with someone else. So
Sure.
uh,
Sure.
so I think yeah, it's as leaders of a business, it's also important for you to kind of help build, those bridges between your teammates, so they can actually communicate with each other. And
Very
the
nice.
other thing we have done at Zerodha, which is especially on the product side, on our tech team, we're just a 30-member team, and we're absolutely lean. Our nearest competitor was maybe one third of our size, probably is a 300-member team on the
Right.
tech, right? And what we realized is that by keeping teams small, you can actually build those kind of bondings. I mean, small teams are so much more productive. I mean, we have experimented with it. Like a 2-member team can do a lot better than a 20-member team, because these 2-member team are forced to communicate to each other, right? Because they're all, they're almost like, like brothers of sorts. So they're when team becomes larger, people stop communicating with each other. They all assume that the other
Very nice.
person knows stuff. So we've actually taken that approach of saying communication between team members, especially on the product side, is extremely important, and kept those teams really, really lean. So.
Very nice. Excellent. I think Vikashji, you answered the question even before we asked you, because you were so open in admitting it, which is such a great inspiration. I'm going to take just a couple of minutes, if you don't mind, guys, just to close out some of the questions that have been pending. If you don't mind, I'll just answer them myself. If you have contributions, we can do it, because we can then thank you guys and let you go on for your dinner and for your evening. So one interesting question was, um, I have an option between starting a new enterprise and taking a job for a multinational. What should I do? Now, look, I think experience is very great. If you can get experience to work in a multinational, if you're not sure, do it. If you're very compelled, you have a very compelling idea and you'll make it. Vikash here shared that he worked in a games company, built a lot of skills and went through. Nitin, you started trading, learned the nuances of what the market really wants before you became an entrepreneur. So I think it's very simple now. And yeah, boss, Banya advice is, when someone is paying you to make mistakes, let them do that before you get into making your own mistakes. So let others pay you, make money, make the mistakes, learn on their account. You know, no great idea, no great company is running away. From ever and ever, we will always have inventors and ideas. So nothing will matter. But experience baant lo na, you can get some more. Is that okay,
Yeah.
guys? Are you okay with
Yeah.
it?
No, I'll just add on to that. Like they say, right? You need to sharpen the axe before you go
There
try
you go.
chopping a tree.
Right.
So you need to. Otherwise, the blunt the axe is, the longer it's going to take you. So I think,
Right.
yeah, I think people should go work and build core competencies.
Correct. Correct. One last question, which is actually very important, and I want to share this because I want to create a story behind it or a theme behind it. Someone has asked Nitin, or actually Nitin, how has your business been impacted by Corona? Many online businesses have improved, and if I may speak on your behalf, Nitin, and of course Vikash's behalf and my behalf, by the grace of God and Guru, we have been very fortunate because we were in online business and we have thrived beyond doubt because the environment just changed. In games, particularly, Nitin, we were having a conversation. People have much more time on their hands, so they've started playing games. But I want to take away that, right? That is not the point. The point I want to make is, see, online was a direction that was in front of us for many years. I have come across companies who deny what is in front of them. वॉल दिख रही है सामने, वॉल के ऊपर राइटिंग है, उसमें लिखा है ऑनलाइन, but I'm not looking at it. I'm saying, नहीं, I'll do it later on. So for me, the greatest lesson has been that when you can see change happening, boss, उसको गले लगा लो यार, embrace it and become part of the change rather than someone hitting you with the axe and then you saying कि अरे मेरी तो head कहीं और चली गई, अब मैं क्या करूं, right? So
No,
you
no,
guys agree?
absolutely.
You guys agree? Vikash ji, आपका approval है
Yeah.
इसके ऊपर? Agreed, right? Okay.
Yeah, totally agree.
Okay, guys. So we are at the end of our beautiful panel. My guests have been phenomenally patient and phenomenally informative. I want to share something which I have taken permission from the NTC, the organizing committee. So this is my new book. It's called The Cave. Yeah, I just love to do that, but I'm sharing it on this panel because it's a story of how my wife and I discovered a cave in the Himalayas almost 10 years ago, and we started going there every year, and it just changed our lives. I mean, it's a spiritual book with a lot of guru stories and spiritual stories, but I just wanted to share that because it's got our guru mentioned in it many times, but also the fact that share. My message was, if you can share what you know, and if you can share what you have learned and what you have unlearned, the world will kind of really enjoy it and benefit from it. So on that note, give away the knowledge, share the knowledge, help people as much as you can, because in our language, sadhana, seva, satsang, these three S's, if you can maintain, you're God. And both you guys, I'm going to make you do the kriya with me very soon, okay? So no
Sure.
Sure, sure, Alok.
thousands of people has witnessed, now you can't run away.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys so much. It was such an honor having you, and thank you for your time and patience, and for helping us succeed and giving us so much knowledge. Yeah,
Cheers.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Alok.
Jai
Thanks.
Gurudev. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.